Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Gerbil, bringing you a Paradox Ice Tanking video. Quickly go over my loadout using an Inescapable Storm, Shatters, Range, Reflection, Better Winds, Phase Dodge, Winter Ward. Skipping the hallway, so you're going straight to each boss fight, starting here with the Ravager. What I like to do with the Ravager is get his aggro and then let him run to the back up on this hill a little bit so we don't have to contest with the front ads there. So as far as tanking this guy goes, it's possible to tank him, and if you have good healers that you know and trust, you can definitely tank this guy, but he hits really hard and he'll burn through your shields pretty much in one swipe of his claw. So as long as your healers are there and are spot on with the heals, you can tank him. He does pretty much the same attacks. He'll do the little claw swipe, he'll do a charge, that he'll charge one of your group members, but you can step in front of it like I just did right there and stop him from charging. And I try to do that as much as I can, so because anytime you're taking something, as long as you can keep it in one spot, then the more damage you're going to be able to get on him. You want to make sure you cycle your shields properly. Like I said, this guy hits really hard, and if you're going to commit to tanking this guy, then you need to fully commit to tanking this guy. And by that I mean don't try to roll away from him because you are afraid you're going to die, because if you do that, you will die. So if you're going to do it, go ahead and commit to it and do it. We have pretty good DPS in here, so we're not going to make it to his minion rage, but this guy has basically 3 attacks that you're looking for. The claws, which he's doing to me, the charge, which you've already seen, and then his minion rage, where he'll stick both claws in the ground and shoot a beam that'll one-shot whoever it hits. He usually shoots like 3 or 4 of them, and then he goes back to attacking, so watch out for his charge, his claw swipe, and his beam. I don't usually do that well on stopping his charge, but this round I've seen him done okay. He's gonna get by you, and his charge hurts a lot, so make sure you have a shield, make sure you're in a block whenever you go to block it. I am using fortified blocking in my home turf mods, which helps me take a little extra damage, but you don't really have to worry about the pulls too much. Just make sure one of your controllers has a heal debuff, and if you keep that heal debuff on this guy at all times, you won't have any problems as far as the pulls healing you. Like I said, you're gonna miss his charge sometimes. You just get right back on him and keep trying to hold his aggro in one place. This is actually the first time I've run this where we don't have anybody in our group die by this guy, which I thought was really good. But yeah, just if you're gonna tank him, commit to tanking him. Just hold block, don't try to roll away, just depend on your healers if that's what you're gonna do. He isn't too bad. So next we go up to the sentry. When you're fighting the sentry, I like to fight him on the back wall, which you saw me run, and I tell everybody else to get on the side walls. And that way there's nobody in between me and this guy, and the whole middle of the room's open. The reason we fight him like this is because he only has really 2 attacks you need to worry about. He has the stomp, which he's doing now. He has these little yellow balls that he shoots out of his mouth, which he just did right there. And those will always be directed at you as long as you have his aggro. So as long as we stay right, there's nobody in between us or around us, then those balls will always just hit me, and they won't be that big of a deal for the group. They won't one-shot the group or anything, because one of those balls will one-shot any member other than you, the tank. So You don't want to try to tank underneath this guy. He'll do that stomp out of nowhere and it'll one-shot you. And then your group will be in a frenzy trying to pick you up. This is a long fight, so you just gotta be patient with it. We fight this guy down here with the ads because no matter where you fight him, he has a shield that pops up, and there's these little orbs that pop up around him that you can pick up and throw at the shield and take it down. And you want to try to do that and take the shield down every time. And it doesn't. We take him down here because they always spawn in the same spot. So if you don't want to fight the ads and you take him up the hill, you'll just have to wait for the shield to go down because the orbs will still spawn down here. Another reason why I take him back here is because that's where the ads spawn. So as long as I have a bitter winds or some power cast when they spawn, they'll be directly aggroed onto me, and they won't have a chance to hit anybody else in the group. The ads spawn at 25%, 50%, and 75%. So just always be ready for them when you're watching this offline. You always want to make sure you got some type of yellow damage numbers on this guy, so if you're from a distance, just keep casting Escapeful Storm whenever you can. Make sure you're always hitting something that keeps the aggro on you. When the ads come up, if you get, like I said, you don't want to be tanking him underneath him, so if he gets close to you, just kind of roll away from him. And you'll see me do that a little bit later on in this fight. Those yellow balls that he shoots out, they also work as block break, so as long, you don't want to be blocking unless the ads are out, which they happen to spawn, so you don't want to be blocking whenever he shoots those yellow balls at you because they'll block break you. So he gets a little close to me, so I kind of back away a little bit. I always make sure my shields are uncooled or have a shield uncooled down that I can pop. The ads always come first whenever you're doing this, so if you're going to do it like this, and the ads pop up, make sure your DPS know they're up and they're focus firing on the ads, so you can get them down quickly. I always make sure I have aggro on the ads, and then I always try to lock back on the boss so I can still have his aggro as well. So that's why you kind of use phase dodge, so I can, in the midst of ads, I can still hit the boss with a move and phase dodge and get his aggro. And as you notice in this fight, you don't see a lot of people going in between me and the boss. You will every once in a while, but I usually let them know where I'm at so they know not to stand there and not get one-shotted by that yellow ball. So yeah, you kind of just do this all the way throughout the fight, and eventually you'll get this guy down. Like I said, it's the longest fight in Paradox, except never retiring. So like right here, I was trying to lock onto the boss and forgot to cast the power and almost got myself killed, but luckily my healer saved me still. So you always gotta be careful and always gotta be paying attention. Or maybe it was right here when I almost died. Yeah, that was just carelessness on my fault. On my part, I mean. Because I was trying to walk onto that boss, but yeah, like I said, the ads come first and then the bosses after that. But it's not too hard of a fight. Everybody just needs to pay attention, be vocal, let people know what's going on. Like I tell Silverstorm right here, he's in between me and the boss, so he moves off to the side. And just good communication makes things a lot easier. So this guy's about dead. I'll just let you guys finish watching this fight, and we'll get ready to go to the warrior next. Alright, so now we're at the warrior. Again, if you don't like fighting the ads, you can pull this guy back to the middle, like we did the Ravager, and take him back there. I don't have any problems taking the ad and the boss at the same time, so that's usually what we do. It just seems to be easier for us. So I'm always spamming my Silverstorm whenever it's on cooldown. Always making sure I have aggro, and then I'll do that. I do that in everything I take next is Paradox. The only things you really got to worry about as a tank are when the ads come up, if he shoots a red ball into you, which the ads are already up. So make sure you kind of get them all over to you. When he shoots the red ball, make sure you have a reflection or something pop so you don't get one-shotted by that ball. He just did his pull move and he was focused on me, so I got away from him so I didn't get hit by that stomp right there because it would have killed me. And then he fired those balls. I hit him with an example storm right there, so I still have his aggro. He shot that ball at me, but I had a power pop and I was blocking. Did a lot of damage, but it didn't kill me. So now I get right back under him. The only thing, like, he has the claw swipe that he'll do like 4 or 5 times in a row. He has the stomp, which are easy to either block or negate completely as long as you have the power on cooldown. Reflection will completely absorb the red ball. You won't even have to worry about it killing you through it. The ads are back up, so you just power out. Ads up, DPS focus fire on the ads. Whenever he pulls somebody in, make sure somebody calls that out, because you don't want to be around him whenever that happens. Because the first thing he'll do is he'll stomp the ground, and then he'll throw us like 6 or 7 balls out in a counter attack. And that stomp will kill you, so make sure if you see him pull somebody in, that you just get away from him, out of his range, so he doesn't stomp you and kill you. It's not too bad taking this guy and the ads, so as ice, I don't know, it's fire. Got stuck in my reflection right there, you can hardly see me. So yeah, this guy isn't too bad because all he does is fireballs. It's up to the rest of the group to dodge those and still do their job. But don't be a burden to them by dying by the ads or anything while they're dodging balls. So make sure you're cycling your shields properly. My Dragon Dom soda only started, so my dominance in this raid is about 1844. I'm sitting at 1725 health, 6324 defense, and 1400 some rest, so somewhere around there. So not the greatest stats, but they're not terrible. Alright, this is our last wave of ads on this guy. We'll handle them pretty quickly and kill this guy. As a tank, you really dictate a lot of the difficulty of Paradox. So if you can cycle your shields and take less damage and be able to tank more, then it'll make it easier on the rest of the group. Be able to stop the charges from like the Ravager and the Oppressor really helped the group. He just shot the ball at me. I didn't have anything. I had to try to block it with Shattered Restraint. It didn't kill me, but it did a lot of damage, as you can tell. You want to make sure to let people know to stay away from this guy, because his stomp that he does has a really wide range on it, and it'll one-shot whoever is in the tank. We lose a couple people here trying to pick up whoever that was that died in the background there. But we were close to finishing, so went ahead and got who I could. We had one of our DPSs. No, we had, yeah, one of our DPSs freeze right here. So I edited out that part where he froze, and you have these little orbs in here that fire just like you do in the hallways, but they only fire after the first fight. So like if you come in here, make it past the first phase, whether it be the pillar or the prison phase, then they won't fire after that. So we went through all that too. So this is our second attempt at this guy. We don't have the orbs firing. We have all 8 people. Like I said, anytime you have ads out, ads are priority. So DPS are focusing on the ads. And you always want to make sure you're locked onto the main boss and you're standing in the ad. So anytime you hit like Agnetts Storm and let's say Shattered or Reflection, you can always hit the main boss as well. So we're fighting the oppressor up with the tyrant. So whenever this is what we consider the first phase. Phases are either pillars or prisons. So if you hear me talking about phases, that's what I'm talking about, either pillars or prisons. The oppressor will come out as soon as this phase is over, and he always comes out of the same hallway, the hallway that he's in. If you were fighting the warrior would come out of the warrior hallway, and so forth. So since I know that, I'm just gonna kind of chill out up here, so I can get his aggro before he locks onto somebody else. But you'll notice as soon as the last pillar is over, I'll hit the main boss with an Exhibitable Storm, so he's aggroed on me, and then I'll go straight to the oppressor, because I kind of want to keep the aggro of the main boss, but the side boss is priority. You don't want him too far deep into the group, but you want to make sure he's not beaming the group all the time. So I grabbed his aggro, and then I went straight to the oppressor. So as far as the oppressor goes, I'll go over his moves real quick. He has a claw swipe, just like the Ravager, but it doesn't hurt near as bad. And then he has that right there where he crosses his claws, and then he shoots out there's like 4 of them. That's really what you got to watch out, because that hurts really bad, but as long as you have a power pop and you're in a block, it shouldn't kill you. So you got the claw swipe, where he'll shoot the purple out, then he'll shoot a beam like he just did, and every time he shoots the beam, he'll charge afterwards, and he'll charge directly where he shot the beam. So again, when you see the beam come up, kind of just try to get in front of him and try to stop his charge. Another thing you want to do is positioning is really important in this fight. You always want to have his back to the group. That way that claw swipe right there, or cross claws, won't hit the group members. I got put in prison by the tyrant, which would be the second phase. So everybody would kite at this moment and try to get me out of the prison and whoever else was in prison. We're a fairly experienced group, so we usually leave one person in the prison. That way we can get extra damage on whatever we're fighting without having to fight ads. So you kind of want to call out who's in prison and who you want to get out, but I only recommend doing that if you're experienced. Again, always try to block the charge so he stays in one place and people don't have to dodge it. But if you can't, that's fine. Right there was that purple claw, it hurts pretty bad. It's also a block breaker unless you're right under him. So right here I have the aggro of a tyrant and the oppressor, which the tyrant doesn't really do much as far as this tank standpoint goes. Just always make sure you have a shield or some power pop and you're blocking, and you won't ever have to worry about that. I tried to block his charge, but it wouldn't let me. Like I said, you always want to try to keep that blade swipe away from the group. Doesn't always work. But, yeah, you just want to make sure you get this guy down as quickly as possible. It makes it a lot easier. But as soon as this phase is over, ads will pop up. Where the first phase of this guy popped up, the next phase and every phase after will be ads. Just always pay attention, because if you get hit with that claw swipe and you don't have a power cast and you're not blocking, it might kill you, and you don't want that to happen. So there's the ads. I'm going to go over here and get them. Still got aggro on the main boss, because where I had reflection up, it kept reflecting damage and going back. Now he'll do one move where he'll raise his arms up over his head, the oppressor will. Don't worry about that. It's one of his special moves. He's going to try to charge here. I get in front of him and block it. When he puts his arm over his head, he tries to put someone in a ball. Don't worry about him not being aggro to you. He is. As soon as he does that, he'll turn back around and try to hit you. But I got kind of lucky here. I got him stuck between me and that pillar, so it's easy to block his charge at this point. So whenever he charges, I can keep him right where he's at. So he's getting ready to charge. Yeah, so he got stuck right there, so so he's about dead. Once he's dead, it's just us and the tyrant, which is not a hard fight at all. So like I can't stress enough how much easier it makes it when you can tank him in one spot and not be a burden to the group. So if you can keep your shield cycled and him in one spot and block his charge and stuff, your group will love you and things will go quickly and smoothly. It doesn't matter who you're fighting. If you're fighting the tyrant or a side boss or ads, you want everybody in your group to be on the outside of those pillars. So when the tyrant rolls, he won't hit your group members. I mean, there'll be times when he'll go back far enough to hit you, but for the most part, he doesn't hit people back there. So as you can tell, most of my group is behind the pillars over there and out of his range of charging into them. I'm not really too far into the middle either, so they can heal me and give me power and not troubles. Like I said, I got careless there again and didn't have a shield pop and almost died. So this fight is just a long fight. He's got a lot of health. Depending on what phases you get, it becomes... If you get a lot of pillar phases, it becomes really long. We kind of got lucky and got a few prison phases, so we could leave one person in and get extra damage. But there's nothing really special to the tyrant. He's actually one of the easiest bosses. He's just got a lot of health, like I said. After each phase, remember, ads pop out. You just want to make sure you grab their aggro, and right there the ad spawned on us, actually. But I saw him and was able to grab him pretty quick. Normally people have to call him out to me, but he's rolling, so everybody's just gonna step back and kill these ads until he gets back. So anytime that you're doing this, ads are a priority. And make sure you stay out of the range of the roll. But as a tank, you can be right under him. So I'll just let you, there's not much more about this fight. We leave, like I said, we leave one person in the pillar. Or in the prisons, I mean, I'm sorry. We leave one person in the prisons, let them That way we can get extra damage on them. And then that's pretty much it. It's a really easy fight. Just stay behind the pillar so you don't get killed by the roll. And not too bad. I'll let you guys go ahead and just finish watching the video, and you can just watch me, the way I cycle my powers, and some of the things that I do. Some of them might not be the best advice, and some of them might work. Yeah, if you like this video and it's helpful to you, then you can share it with your friends and subscribe, leave a comment. Hope it's helpful, and hope that it gives you a better idea of things that you can do to make the raid go a little bit smoother for your group by like stopping the charges or whatnot. Alright, well, you guys have a good day, and I hope you subscribe.
The paradox wave is receding. Our timeline is safe for now. But infinite uncertainties can create infinite paradoxes. Be prepared for the next tide.